Heightened tensions again on the Korean peninsula after North Korea fired a short-range ballistic missile off its east coast early on Friday. This is recorded as at least the 41st ballistic missile test by North Korea this year, amid a spate of such tests over the last month. In addition, 170 rounds of artillery were reportedly fired in sea buffer zones. 10 North Korean military aircraft flew close to the heavily fortified border with the south. North Korea's military issued a statement via state media KCNA early Friday saying it took what it called strong military countermeasures over South Korea's artillery fire on Thursday. While none of the North Korean artillery shells fell inside South Korean territorial waters, the Joint Chiefs of Staff described the firings as a clear violation of the 2018 agreement, which created buffer zones along land and sea boundaries and no-fly zones above the border to prevent clashes.
You must all be aware that North Korea again used its air force to stage a military protest over Korea Air Defense Identification Zone set by our military and staged an indiscriminate ballistic missile provocation yesterday and early this morning. There are many concerns about this, but the government has been doing its best to fully prepare for such provocations by the North Korea since the inauguration of the new government.
순항 미사일에 탄도 미사일에
우리 군은 북한이 지속적인 도발을 통해
South Korea military strongly warns North Korea that is violating the September 19 military agreement and causing military tension on the Korean peninsula through continuous provocations, and we urge it to stop the provocations immediately.
추가 도발에 대비하여 한미 간 긴밀한 공조하에
Analysts say North Korea is also reacting in response to South Korea's President Yoon Suk-yeol, who was elected in May and has pursued a more hawkish stance to the north and closer ties with the US. The moves have drawn massive condemnation from regional leaders, especially Japan.
North Korea's series of actions pose threats to Japan as well as the region and the international community and are absolutely intolerable. This is a violation of the relevant Security Council resolutions, and Japan launched a strong protest against North Korea through the embassy channel in Beijing and strongly condemned it.
The latest missile tests come as intelligence suggests North Korea is preparing to hold its first nuclear weapon test in 5 years in response to Seoul, Tokyo and Washington ramping up combined military exercises in the region. The North has issued repeated warnings that redeployment of the US aircraft carrier Ronald Reagan near the Korean peninsula was inflaming regional tensions, saying it needs to protect its regime from what it perceives as a US threat. The acceleration in tensions between the Koreas marks a significant change from when Pyongyang pursued denuclearization talks with the US President Donald Trump between 2018 and 2019. This one was North Korea's 8th missile test since the 25th of September. Strong messages of condemnation by the United Nations ring out.
We call on all UN member states, especially council members, to join us in condemning this reckless behavior and in urging the DPRK to abandon in a complete, verifiable, and irreversible manner its unlawful weapons programs and engage in diplomacy toward denuclearization.
North Korea revised its nuclear laws last month to allow preemptive strikes, with Kim declaring North Korea an irreversible nuclear power, effectively ending the possibility of negotiations over its arsenal. North Korea has tested strategic cruise missiles before, but this is the first time it is said they have a nuclear role and are operational.